Okay. Hey there, it's nice in Florida. Okay, Camille. All right. Okay, I understand. No snow in your future. Well, I'm in Maryland. I know I'm in Maryland, and they're expecting a blizzard coming tomorrow and Saturday. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. You guys, California, right? It's sweet. I know, Karina. I know it. I get it. I get it. We need to move. We can, what can I say? I don't even know. We have the shovels. They're at the front door and they're at the back door so that we can shovel our way out of our house, okay? We're getting ready. I think they're saying we're going to get maybe up to 30 inches. Julia is in the house. Good to see you guys. I know up to 30 inches is what they're expecting, so we'll see. Good to see ya. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support moms mostly with life and business success. You guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com or my past scopes at katch.me. katch.me. All you newcomers are in for a jam-packed full of energy session. Get ready for some great advice. Periscope is acting crazy. It's Periscope. You know what? I was just on Facebook Live, and I was trying to do my broadcast on Facebook Live, and it was crazy too. It dropped me off. So I don't know if it was my phone, I know, or if it's my phone, or if it was Facebook, but it didn't work. So anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about how to build an amazing brand. How to build an amazing brand. Now, if you're new to my scopes, it might be. Yeah, it could be. If you're new to my scopes, what I want to say is that, well, it's nice to virtually meet you, okay, first of all. And when I got started in my business 13 years ago, what I'm doing currently today, what I've been doing every day for the last 13 years, I was told by a business advisor that no one would ever pay me to coach moms, right? Can you imagine that? Like, no one, thank you, Julia, no one would ever pay me to do what I'm currently doing right now. I know, it's just the most amazing thing. And I always like to tell that story because I know that so many of you guys are thought leaders. Like, you've got this idea, you know, this thing you want to do or you're meant to do, but there's no one else doing it. You don't see any examples of it, and you're wondering if it's possible. Like, you're wondering maybe you're crazy, like, but you're not. I'm telling you not, okay? And when I think about it, it just amazes me that, you know, for the last 10 years, I've been a full-time entrepreneur. And I always say freedom isn't free. And I have a responsibility to share with you, you know, what I've done over the years. And I love to pull back the layers. And this platform is such a great platform to be able to share my story. And hopefully it will inspire you to go for your dream, like to reach for the dang thing. Now, what's significant about my story is that 5 years ago, my husband developed kidney disease and was on dialysis and 15 to 18 hours a week. And last year he got a kidney transplant and it went amazing. He's doing great. But I always thank you guys so much for saying that. I always say that, you know, I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity in my business to grow my business before we needed it. And I had the opportunity to be there for my husband when he needed me most, right? And I know that you guys can benefit from the same. And so no matter if you want to build a business because maybe you want to send your kids to private school, or maybe it's for medical, emergency, or maybe it's because you guys want to travel, maybe because you want economic security. I know that having a business can really create options for you. And that's why I like to talk about this particular topic and really serve you, like really support you, because it's changed my life. And for us, what entrepreneurship did was we were able to hire a private physician for my husband. Hey, darling, good to see you. We were able to hire a private physician for my husband so that he could get advanced medical treatment while he was on dialysis. And that made all the difference, I believe, in his recovery. And over the years, being a full-time entrepreneur, we were able to invest, and I don't tell you this to impress you, but this is my story, over $630,000 educating our children. Cheers to your success and balance, Mia. Glad your husband received such great care and love. I agree, and I think we have a responsibility to share it. Like, I think you should be able to say what works so that other people know for themselves what it is. And I don't say any of it to impress you, but to impress upon you that, you know, building a business as a mom, like, creates options for your family, and it gives you the ability to have freedom. It gives you economic security. It allows you to create options for your family. And if that's something you're looking for, then you're going to love my scopes. And you can check them out at katch.me, katch.me. And just search my name, Mia_Redrick, and sign up for my newsletter list, right? So if Periscope crashes forever, we can forever be connected. Redrick, okay? MiaRedrick.com. Thank you so much. Julia just put the link there. Julia, thank you so much for putting both of those there. All right. So if you guys are ready for me to get started today, exactly what you needed to hear, right? If you guys are ready for me to get started with the topic tonight, which is how to build an amazing brand. I know you want to know. I know you want to know how to build an amazing brand. So if you do, just say, me, I'm ready. Like, I am ready, Mia. Tell me how. And once you write that here, then I'll get started on sharing with you what I believe. You're ready, okay? Camille is ready. And what I believe are the elements. You're so ready, right? You're so ready, okay? What you need to do to be able to build an amazing brand, okay? And I believe one of the first things that you have to do when you want to build an amazing brand, you have to start with authenticity. You have to start with being yourself. And, there's a great book called You're Born an Original, Don't Die a Copy by John Mason. I don't know if you guys have read that or not. Okay, thank you so much for tapping the screen, right? But it's so important. If you want to build an amazing brand, be you. Do you, okay? Show up as you. And it sounds so simple, but it's so complicated at the same time, because what happens is that we see great and amazing brands, or you see websites that you like, or you see what other people are doing, and there's a temptation to imitate, or what I call become a creative duplicator of what you believe is already working. But what I want to tell you is that your brilliance and your sweet spot has to do with you being who you are. And I know this to be true because when I got started in business 13 years ago, there were no mom coaches. You never even heard the term mom and coaching together, okay? And so this whole idea of building my brand was based on my authentic gifts and literally deciding that that's what I wanted to serve the world with. And that's what you need to ask yourself. Like, what are the gifts that you have that are unique to who you are? And how can you serve the world with those? And those don't have anything to do with anyone else. They don't have anything to do with the Google search. They don't have anything to do with looking at somebody else's website. They don't have anything to do with anything else. It has to do with what you have, authentic gifts, right? And that's what you want to serve the world with. And I'll tell you the power in it. Because when you are serving the world authentically as yourself, you're always going to be confident. You're always going to know what to say because you're being you. You're serving from a place of your overflow. So what I want you to understand is that you want to serve from the place of your gifts, which is your overflow. And you never have to figure out how to be brilliant, how to be amazing, what to say. You already know what to say because it's your gift. Does this make sense? All right. And so many people don't get this, right? They're creative duplicators. They spend their days studying other people, trying to figure out what somebody else is doing to get an edge, to do that thing or copy something. And they're like, oh, that's the secret. No, the secret is being yourself. And this is something that I know is flat true. It's something that I subscribed to over the years because I didn't have examples of what I was to do. Yes. Wiki, right? Your overflow, right? You want to serve from your overflow. Hey, Pat, good to see you. You want to serve from your gifts. You want to serve from your abundant place. And that is where all the blessings are, right? Hey, good to see you. That's what all the blessings are because you are being exactly who you're meant to be. And you don't have to figure out anything. There's nothing to figure out, right? Because that's just naturally what you do. And so what happens is when you show up doing whatever it is, you're always going to be amazing because it's you. You're being you. And I remember saying to my husband years ago, and some of you guys know this, that I was like, you know what? I want to go to work as myself. And what that meant to me was I loved being a trainer. I loved being in corporate America. And I loved being a mom. And I just knew I wanted to do that. Overflow. I have an overflow of passion to help parents, but how do you articulate that? So if you are trying to articulate how you want to help parents, first you have to define who you're serving, what kind of parents are you serving, and what are you serving them with? What's the result that you're going to provide them? See, I'm a mom strategist, right? And I support moms mostly with life and business success. So if you think about parents, what do you do? and who do you serve? And think about that, very specifically. What's the benefit they get as a result of you being able to support them in some way, okay? Support great content. Thank you. So guys, for this scope, if you guys don't mind, you have to go out every 500 hearts. You have to leave the scope and you have to come back and write, and tap, tap, tap. Now, my content is usually pretty rich, and so people like to write a lot on the scopes. Jason Hodge is in the house. Jason is in the house. Good to see you, Jason. We're talking tonight about how to build an amazing brand. Hey, darling, good to see you. How to build an amazing brand. And it's something that was on my heart because I think so often we think that to build an amazing brand, we have to copy amazing brands. And that's not what you want to do. Prophetic is in the house. And we think we have to copy amazing brands. That's not what you do. What you do is you have to do you. You have to do what you were called to do, what God planted inside of you. Boom, shakalaka, boom, right? You have to do what your calling calls for. And when you do that, when you're obedient to that gift, then what happens is great things start to happen. And I had no idea over the years, the doors that have been opened to me by Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, just being who I am, like being myself. And that's what I've decided over the years, that if there's ever a connected dot that I need to make, it's the connected dot within myself, and understand that I am enough, because you are enough, right? And that these gifts that I see, like these gifts that I've been given, that they're not here for no reason. They're here for a reason, to serve a certain demographic. So if you want to build an amazing brand, that's number one. Be authentic with your gifts. Don't be a creative duplicator that does not serve the world. The next thing that you need to understand is that you need to be bold. Okay, and what I mean by that, say, now I know that some of you guys might stop hearting because it's like, bold, what do you mean? But I'm saying that what happens is when you are authentically being yourself, there's a boldness. You're able to make a bold claim about what you can deliver because you're being you. And when you are looking to build an amazing brand, what you're doing in essence is you're making a bold claim. Okay, you're a brand. Right? I'm going to keep on hearting, right? Thank you so much, Jason, for doing that. And so over the years, a confidence in yourself, right? It's a belief in yourself. It's a knowing that you have, like you just know what you know, and you don't know why you know it. And maybe you didn't study it in a book. It might just be a direct result of you being who you are. But you are able to make a bold claim. And I meet people all the time that say, do I need to take another class? Do I need to take another course? But what happens is when you authentically, Mia, your Western Sora Deirdre, is rocking IQ with EQ. Great to be with you. Okay, I love it. So this is you, Deirdre. I love it. I love it. You are saying it, Mia. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much. But what happens is you're able to make a bold claim because you can back it up. See, I love it. I love it, Deirdre. Fist bump. Boom. Okay. She's a Western dove. We graduated from the same high school. I went to an all-girls high school, which is the oldest continuously operated public high school in the country. Literally. And we graduated some amazing women there. Amazing women. So you are able to be bold in your gifts, right? And unapologetic and not shrink your shine because you are being who you are. You are so right. Sometimes you don't know why you know what you know. You don't know why you know it. You don't know why you know what you know. You can't even explain it. I remember someone asking me one time, I was on this interview, right? And it was the craziest thing, but it was like this radio broadcast I was doing. All these people were into it. And this woman began to ask me, like, well, what makes you the mom strategist? And I'm like, what makes me the mom strategist? I am the mom strategist, but this is why I have lots of strategy. I've learned it. I've dated myself more than any mom in the world. I've been dating myself for the last 16 years. That's what makes me the mom strategist. If any mom wants to know how to process self-care for herself, figure out systems for her family, I know how to do that. It's my gift. Now, if you want to tell you that I need to have a PhD to tell you that I know how to do that, I can't do that. But I'm telling you that I'm gifted at doing that. And here's the thing about a bold claim is that you don't feel you have to prove yourself because you're being yourself. And what you understand is that all you're really looking for are people who get you. And that's one of the things that I've understood over the years, that there are going to be people, it is an assurance from within that you are qualified to do it. You are what you do, your work in the world. That's how. Absolutely. Boom, shakalaka, boom. Absolutely. So, it's interesting because you don't feel like you have to prove yourself. You know that somehow I'm prepared for this moment. Like, I actually know what's going to happen. I remember saying to my husband, I said, I don't really know how. Like, you could put like Michelle Obama and Martha Stewart and me and Oprah on the stage, and I'd hold my own talking about what my gifts are. So they're brilliant at what they do, but I'm brilliant at what I do too. And that's what I mean. It gives you this level of what I call blessed assurance. Now, I had heard that song a million times, but I didn't always know what it meant. I thought I knew what it meant, okay? I, too, have a gift that blows minds, right? You are. It's confidence, right? So what happens is, I remember hearing the song Blessed Assurance, and I thought I knew what it meant. And then I began to live what blessed assurance is. And it's knowing what you know. That's what I'm talking about, right? It's knowing what you know that you know. It's like, I can't tell you why I know it, but I do know it. Okay, and you do know it, and that's a bold claim. And I just want you to be able to stand in your gifts, and when you're authentic, it allows you to be able to do that and to be able to show up powerfully in that way, and you don't doubt yourself. And sometimes when you decide to assume gifts, meaning, how people tell you, you need to do this too in order to do this, okay, and you believe them, and you can't figure out why. Sometimes you feel powerless, even though you're powerful. You feel powerless. It's because that's not authentically who you are. All right. And one of the greatest examples of that for me was public speaking. I'll never forget it. Yeah, you got to stay in your lane, right? You got to stand in your gifts. Thanks for that tip. Needed to hear that today. Absolutely, yes, right? Because it was, wow, that's been my problem. Like literally, I remember one of my first biggest speaking engagement. I'll never forget it. Maybe 200-300 people were there. It was horrible. And I went up there thinking that I was Les Brown, but I'm not. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. He's Les Brown. He's Mamie Brown's baby boy. I'm not. And I thought I was. And I remember going on that stage thinking I was Les Brown, and I was powerless. See, I couldn't remember what I had to say. I was moving like a robot, and I couldn't figure out. And although I had a great and amazing message, because I was aligning with what was not who I authentically am, okay, no one could feel what my gifts were. I couldn't serve the world. So one of the things that's so important is that you understand that being who you are and aligning with your gifts and being yourself is one of the most powerful things you could ever do. Like, nobody has to understand it. It doesn't have to sound like anyone else. You just have to do you and be you. And in doing that, it allows you to build an amazing brand. And that's one of the things that I learned over the years. And yeah, did you freeze? Okay. That's one of the things that I learned over the years, and it's changed my life. Absolutely, right? And then I think also when you're building an amazing brand, the other thing that you want to be thinking about is you want to be thinking about how to stand out, not how to stand in. Right? So many people are afraid to stand out. Now, let's talk about standing out for a minute. Love it. Do you and be you. Absolutely. All day, every day. Right? So a lot of people are focused on standing in. So standing in means that, so if I stand in, I can just do what everybody else is doing. But if I stand out, that means I'm going to be challenged. That means that I've got to have a certain level of confidence. I've got to have a certain level of grit. Right? Me, I always love when I can make it to your scopes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I appreciate you so much. I'm ready. Growth mindset. Fortune favors that the true and bold. Yeah, absolutely. The fact of the matter is, it's hard sometimes to not stand in. It's easy to stand in because if you stand in, you blend in, right? And then, you don't have to deal with like rejection. You don't have to deal with failure. You don't have to wonder if it works or not. You're just blending in, right? You're just standing in. But if you decide to stand out, then you decide you want to test whatever it is that you're called to do. And that's a whole different thing. All right. And then one of the things that I will tell you, if you want to build an amazing brand, you have to be willing to stand out. That means that if they zig, you zag. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that what makes you valuable is what makes you different. I thank God for these words. It is my time to stand out. It's past time, absolutely. See, scarcity is what makes you valuable. And that's just the reality. And so when you decide to blend in, you're no longer valuable, right? Because you're just like one of everybody else. But when you decide to stand out, that's when your value fully shows. And that's one of the things I've learned. But there's a cost of it. There's a price to be paid with standing out, right? You have to be willing to deal with rejection. You got to be willing to deal with failure. You got to be willing to take it on the chin, because not everyone's going to love whatever it is that you've got going on. Now, here's the thing. This is why I always say, if you want to build a great and amazing brand, you've got to have an incredible reading habit. Because if you aren't reading, if you aren't investing in your number one asset, which is your mind, see, your mind's going to play tricks on you when people don't applaud because they're not used to it yet. See, when you're brokering a new idea, when you're a new brand, and you're bringing something to the marketplace that no one's seen before, they're not going to stand up and applaud right away. I mean, if they do, you're blessed. But the fact of the matter is, likely that's not going to happen. So one of the things that you always have to guard and protect is your mind. And you got to understand that you can't focus on what you see. Okay? You can't focus on what you see, right? When you're brokering a new idea. Right. Okay. Now we're having business church. We are having business church. I just want to break it down, because the thing is, you can't focus on what you see. What you've got to understand is that you're in the business of the unseen. See, when you're bringing forward a new brand, it's unseen. No one's seen it before. And you got to understand that. Yes, I protect my mind. Outer circumstances aren't always the truth. That's exactly right. Yes, right. So you're working in a space of the unseen. So when you're working in a space of the unseen, that means that sometimes people aren't going to applaud you. Love it, Mia. Zig when they zag. Don't follow the crowd, right? This is something I teach investors. It's so important, because what people typically do when they're afraid is they follow what other people are doing because they don't want to make mistakes. But the thing is that that's not what your calling is about. Your calling is about you doing what you're called to do, and it has nothing to do with what other people are doing. This is one of the things that I'm absolutely clear about. It's okay to heart. So let me just say, I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. You guys can always check me out if you're just joining me at miaredrick.com, and sign up for my newsletter list, or on Catch, KATCH.me. Hello, good to see you. Crins Bailey, good to see you. Fist bump, boom. I'm Mia Redrick, and I love to talk about life and business success, mostly for moms and dads. I've coached over 400 clients in the last 13 years. 112 of my clients are authors, half are #1 Amazon bestsellers, and I believe that we all are gifted and brilliant individuals. Some of us are in denial, but I believe we're all brilliant. Love you already. Amazing value. Thank you so much. And you'll love some of the past scopes that I've done. I talk about a lot of really great and amazing things. And what I feel like it's my responsibility to do is to share with you all how you can, up-level your game, improve your network, build your business, go for your dream, because building my dream and going for my dream has changed my life. And everything that I talk about, I've done. So it's a novel concept today to actually talk about the things that you've done. And what's kind of unique to me and building my brand is that I've been able to build my business mostly from the comfort of my home. Because when I got started in business, because of my husband's kidney issue, I wasn't able to travel a lot, or I chose not to travel a lot, I guess. And as a result of that, most of my models are time rich. I've taken content like, ebooks and e-courses and continuity programs, and built a great 6-figure business from the comfort of my home. And I know that that's possible, and I know that it'll support so many of you who've got great ideas, and that you've got a brand that you want to birth, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to do it. And maybe you're thinking, or maybe the models you've seen is that you've got to run around from one place to the next. Now, I don't do that. That's not what I've done. I think I told you guys recently on the scope. Recently, I did like a keynote speak. I was a keynote speaker for an event in Trinidad right here. Like, see what you guys are seeing right now? This is what they were seeing too. I did it from the comfort of my home. I do events all the time from the comfort of my home. That's how I built my business. And short of meeting with my private clients, when I go and meet with families, when I go to support them. Most of my business I do right here in my home from Skype or on the phone, and it's been amazing for me. Okay, so I just want to share that with you because maybe you haven't thought about that. Maybe the only models that you've heard are people running all over the place, and that's the only thing you believe you can do. Tina Barnett is in the house. Good to see you, Tina. Nice to meet you. I am Mia Redrick. We've been talking tonight about how to build a great and amazing brand. And what I've said is so far is that you've got to be authentic. Awesome. You don't have to go on a plane. No, you don't have to get on a plane. I didn't get on a plane to build my business. Most of my business I build at 9 o'clock at night because that was the time that worked for me. And I do one-to-many models in working with my clients. And my first product that sold, my very first product that sold was for $88,000. It was a 40-page ebook that I didn't even write. I'm just saying, guys, I hired a ghostwriting team to do that for me. And since that time, I have 17 other ebooks that are out there that I sell. So a lot of us have never heard that. And I think it's important to pull back the layers. Do you go to any conferences? I do, but not that many. I choose to go to conferences that are with my target audience. I do most of my I network up. I do small retreats when I'm interacting with people. So I think a lot of people don't know that. I'm just not a big fan of FaceTime. I'm a FaceTime, meaning FaceTime. I'm interested in networking up in my ambition level and above. I use a lot of ads and Facebook marketing tools to be able, social media marketing, to be able to get in front of my target demographic. And it's been very effective. That's the reality of it. And a lot of people don't know anything about how to do that. And that's what I do. And because I couldn't travel, or I chose not to travel in the last 5 years, right? Right. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you want to build a great and amazing brand, you need to be authentic. You need to understand the power of being yourself. You need to be bold. You need to understand that when you're authentic, there's a boldness that comes with it, and that you're going to work in the unseen. That means that, like, at times, no one's going to know what you're going to do. You're not going to be able to explain to them how you're going to do it, right? But you just know you can do it. That was the thing. And, what's been interesting to me, how things come full circle, is that we only have green hearts, guys. We only have green hearts. What's been so interesting to me, when I first got started, I was told, right, that what I'm doing currently right now, that I wouldn't be able to do. What's your take on being on multiple platforms to build your brand? I'm with you there, heart you, right? So I think you can be on multiple platforms. So I have many. Is there too many? What I will say to you, Pat, is that I'm on many platforms. I have many people who I collaborate with, who I have affiliate strategic partnerships with. For example, one of my products is a book coaching product that is a done-for-you service. It's one of my high-end services. We charge $15,000 and $22,000 to do write your book without picking up a pen. I don't even advertise for the program. It's an affiliate program. People bring clients to me, and they make $3,000 per referral. Okay, so I like that. I don't use Blab. I have been on Blab. One of my clients who is looking to be a New York Times bestselling author, her book was just released. She is a Amazon bestselling author. Her book was released like 2 weeks ago, and she hit Amazon #1 in like 3 or 4 different categories. Lisa Lauder, her book is called The Pilot Prophet. Yeah, you know Lisa, right? Lisa did a Blab, and I was on that with David Hancock. I adore her. She's absolutely phenomenal and the real deal, and an exceptionally successful coach, okay? And I was on Blab with Morgan James, the president of Morgan James, because that is the publisher for her book. And we were both talking and sharing, some ideas for authors. So that's the only Blab that I've ever done, and I might do it. Is she apostolic? I don't even know what you mean, and I'm thinking that you can explain that. So she's great. Lisa Lauder. You guys need to buy her book. Lisa Lauder, Pilot to Profit, is her book. It's an incredible book about how to really create real profit in your business. Now, she is a coach. She's a mid-sized entrepreneur, really the real deal. In this business, like no hype, just an exceptionally successful coach who absolutely is exceptionally profitable, has built an amazing business, who has lifestyle, who She's a real deal. So you guys need to check her out. And any resource that I'm ever going to share with you is not going to be about the flash. It's going to be about what's really real, because I know that when you're building your own brand, you actually need to know other brands that are doing it. Profit, not profit. Right, not profit. Right, profit. Right, to pilot to profit. Right, PROFIT. Yeah, I'm a working mama of 3. Built your business. Okay, it faded. You have to type that in again. Okay, that's why you wrote. Okay, is she apostolic? Okay, now I understand. No, profit. PROFIT. But she might be a prophet of she might be a prophet of profit. Okay, pilot to profit. A follower of a hostile doctrine. I don't know what her spiritual beliefs are, but I do know that she's an exceptionally successful entrepreneur and business coach who I've had the great fortune to work with several times. And she's written an amazing book, and her goal is to become a #1 bestseller. You and Moms in Charge of Phenomenal Women. Moms in Charge, Christine St. Ville, I absolutely adore her. She's one of my coaching clients. She was in one of my programs, Core Moms, a year and a half ago. I adore her, and you guys need to check her out. Christine St. Ville, she was recently a correspondent at one of my events at my Time for Mommy retreat. So I get to work with amazing brands that they build their brands from scratch. Most of moms who are like, they have an idea of what they want to do, they're not really sure, it doesn't have an identity, might not have any products yet, and they want to figure out a system to go from taking this idea and monetizing the idea and building it. And one of the things you all have to do is build, you got to be authentic, you got to be bold, about whatever it is, and you got to understand that you're in the business of the unseen. You got to understand that what you're meant to do, that you might not see anybody doing it, and you understand that validation is for parking lots and not for your business, because when you're building a business that's not seen, no one's going to validate that that's a great idea. You got to know that that's what you're called for, and that's really important. The other thing that is important is that you have to have mentors. You've got to have teachers that really support you, authentic and bold, right? You got to have mentors, and you've got to have teachers that have been there and done that. They don't necessarily have to do what you've done, but they have to have some part of what you need, okay? So meaning if you aren't great at sales, you need to hire them because they're great at sales. If you aren't great at branding, you need to hire them because they're great at branding. Or I'm in the business of the unseen. I love it, right? Me too. Me too, okay? And so they need to have a component that you need. And one of the things that I've seen about amazing brands is amazing brands are investors, all right? And I know that some of you are thinking like, okay, you're selling me now. No, I'm not selling you. I'm saying like, absolutely, if you would be interested in working with me, not great at social media. So you need to work with someone that's great at social media. So I see social media as an incredible marketing tool. That's how I built my business over the years, mostly via social media, mostly Twitter and Facebook. That's the reality of it. So, but you need to work with someone that's great at that. You have to